Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for August 20th, 2019. We've got about 4 minutes left in the market here. SPY down about 0.7, and Qs are down about 0.65. Okay, we're doing a bit of a pullback here on the hourly. Now, if you recall, coming into today, the bias was neutral, so no surprise, especially as we started the day. Tried to go lower, no follow through, tried to go higher. We are closing in here more towards the bottom. I was saying bullish bias if we can get over yesterday's high. Otherwise, we're still going to be neutral here. Okay, and nothing's really changed. Still going to be neutral going into tomorrow, because what I wanted to see is us put in a retracement and then fail on the retracement. So we have yet to trigger the buy setup. So that's what I would like to see. If we come in or some more, or if we bounce straight tomorrow at the open, then we can use today's low. But we'll see if we get some more follow through. That would be an even better pivot. Okay. So we were neutral coming into today, and we really haven't changed much with today's bar, right? Why I didn't want to be bullish is because we had moved up quite a bit in the last few days into resistance. Okay, so not really a good time to go to a bullish bias. I said the more that we stay up here, the more bullish. If we break out, we can play the next buy setup. But for now, we're coming back in, retracing yesterday a little bit, not retrace the gap yet. Still going to be neutral going into tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about today's plays. Okay. So neutral going into tomorrow, bullish over the same level that we were looking at yesterday. I think that's from last Tuesday's high there, the high of the consolidation. Okay, so if you were with us this morning, we are doing an open house, so it is free to attend. Okay, free to attend. I went over the pre-market favorites in the morning, which the MDT honestly was not, but we did have some favorites. The FN we liked lower. The ELAN we liked lower. Show you the daily chart here. And the SE I liked lower. Okay, those were the three favorites. And then as the market came in, this MDT was showing some relative strength. You can see gapping up over this resistance area. I apologize if the drawings on here actually make it a little bit harder to see, but I think when we go over the play here, that'll help why this was the first play call of the day. So you can see it did require some patience on my part. That probably had been on the mic for almost an hour before we got a play in. But that's because there were a lot of things that I thought just were too sloppy, a little bit too spready at times. So we did wait until this MDT showed up. So this was the MDT. Okay, had a gap up, was staying up at the highs as the market was coming in. I know this is a little bit on the crowded side, so I'm going to remove some of these. I think you can see the shakeout there. I'll just leave the necessary information. Stop was 107.60. Entry was over 108.25. Okay, and our first target was actually 109. So I wanted to see 109, but it blew right through it and kept going. So I ended up telling the room, take it based on the level 2. And the exit ended up being 109.55. So that was a pretty nice pain-free trade. A nice way to start the day on the MDT there. Okay. So nice breakout, nice follow through. We did end up trailing the back half underneath this pivot here. Or sorry, yeah, a little bit closer to break even. It came in here. Some people were asking if we should replay it. I said, no, I'm done with it. It's a little bit too damaged. And you can see that's exactly wanted to come in. Right, and so pretty standard play there, just managed off the hourly there, trailed underneath that bar. That's fine, but very nice front half there and a good way to start the morning there. The next play that was called was from Sammy here on the RADA. Okay, very nice breakout right here. Okay, breaking out over this base. Nice base here. You can see the consolidation. You can see the similarities, right, in the way that the thing's set up. They give us a chance to measure our risk, define a place where support is to put our stop, right? If we're playing long, if we're playing short, which we'll get to an example in a second there, where to put the stop on a short, just underneath the base, right? And then breakout ended up the official call exited here, but hey, it kept going. Still could have been in longer, right? So even this one, if you had actually held until end of the day, maybe closed before the close there, you would actually been in it until the end of the day. See how that hourly held up there? So that is what I'm looking for day in and day out, the plays that we can hold all day. Unfortunately, MDT found a top right away, but that's okay. We took some, rest was trailed break even, right? Didn't end up wanting to be an all-day hold. That's fine, but the RADA sure was, and so was the FN. This was also a play from Sammy here on the base breakdown. Okay. All right, so nice base, nice sideways base there. 15-minute got caught up and pushed price down. And then they exited the last piece, 5-minute bar by bar there, trailed right there. So very, very nice management. This was one that we were watching since the open, right? So we were trying to find an entry on this. Nice gap down on this, okay? So very, very nice follow through there. FN, if you look at the FN here, and do you remember we went over the GGAL that was from yesterday afternoon? And I put these side by side, right? You can see where the consistency in the play is. Consistency in the entry, right? Consistency in the strategy, consistency in the management, okay? So FN, you can see we did trail out all of it on that initial drop, right? In the same way that the FN was traded. So here is the GGAL. Here is the FN, okay? FN, breakdown underneath the lows, okay? So, you know, it's something I think at this point that I even take for granted. It wasn't until one of our open house new members said that, hey, you guys do a really good job on these afternoon breakouts and breakdowns. And for me, you know, it's basically been that way for years. And so I take it for granted that, yeah, this is how consistency is achieved. We're playing the same strategy. FN is a pro gap down, just as the GGAL was. Off of the 15-minute breakdown off the lows there, right? Was only a 50, 60 cent stop that went over $1 there, okay, on the FN. So, you know, this consistency, and that consistency isn't about only taking winners, right? I went over the IQ yesterday, right? And that consistency also is about taking your stops. If this play isn't going to work, right, and you put your stop right here, right, and this is where the stop was. We got pretty close to a target one. We didn't quite get there. That's fine. I wanted to see it make new highs and keep going, just like the MDT did today. But in this case, the highs is all it wanted to go to, retest, and then we're out. And I'm not dealing with any of this. Just like when the MDT trailed, right, we're out. We're done with it. Okay, we're out. I'm not dealing with all of this, right? I'm not going to babysit this and let it distract me and not find the next good play that I want to take. So it's consistency, right, with management, consistency with entries, consistency with strategy, right? This was deemed pro gap up here, all right? And we'll just give you a nice clean chart here, okay? Pro gap up, right? So not extended. It is coming from a couple green bars here, but it was showing a lot of relative strength, so that was good enough to upgrade there, right? RADA, again, pro gap up, FN, pro gap down, okay? And played short, and the other two played long, okay? So, you know, this kind of thing, I think, hopefully for some of the people in the room, whether you decide to join us for the rest of the year or for the next year, at least, yeah, you get to see kind of what is required, what kind of consistency in the strategies, the pattern, and the management, okay? As far as consistency in your preparation and other things like that, your routine scanning, we actually take care of all of that for you, right? So we start our broadcast 30 minutes before the open. We go over what is the favorites. We prepare for the day based on what's gapping, what looks good, go over potential swing plays, right? So we start our preparation in the morning the same way, okay? And then as we go through the day, we do our scanning, complete the gaps list, go over what the favorites, stay organized, right, throughout the day as far as what we should be focused on, what looks the best, what is offering the best opportunity. So that kind of consistency is taken care of for you, right? So if you're in the room, you're taking advantage of the scanning of the preparation, right? But I think what most people are after is, well, how do we get consistent profits? right? And it's not about necessarily having every play work. It's about doing what's consistent, and over time, right, consistent profits will come. Okay? All right. So hopefully, if you're in the open house, you're enjoying it. You should be doing pretty well. If you're just considering it, there is a link in the description that allows you to register, and you can join us tomorrow morning. The broadcast will start at 9 a.m. Okay, and we'll put the gaps list and the favorites ahead of that, and then we'll go visit them, analyze them before the market opens, and then we'll be ready to go for the trading day. Okay, so hope you did well today. If not, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hope to see you in the room, and have a good evening. All right, good night, everyone.